Never make your stepping stone your capstone. What am I saying today? I am saying to you, maybe before I get there, before I confuse people, let me just differentiate between a stepping stone and a capstone. A stepping stone is a series of stones that you use to rest your foot as you cross a stream, as you cross marshy areas, as you move to a higher level. It is circumstances that help you to move to a higher place so that you may draw nearer to your goal or to your objective. What is a capstone? A capstone is the very last stone that you put on a construction, on a wall, and saying, this is it. This is as far as this wall goes, and I put the capstone. In other words, it is the peak. In other words, it is the summit. In other words, when I'm not a builder, but I remember my father when he built his house, he'd say, my son, we now need U blocks. U blocks were the very last row of blocks that you put, and you said, from here, there is no other brick that is going to come above that. So what am I saying to you today? I'm saying to you, let us go back to the message, to the title. Never make your stepping stone your capping stone. Never make what you are supposed to be using as a stepping stone, the stone that you put at the top to say you've reached your ceiling. Hallelujah. You know, I'm saying to us, church, life is a journey. Say to a neighbor, my neighbor, life is a journey. It is not a destination. And church, I am not saying don't celebrate your successes. I'm not saying don't celebrate your achievements. Celebrate them, enjoy them, and move on. Mark chapter 8, verse 22 to 25. Then they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought to him a blind man and begged him to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. And when he had spat in his eyes and laid his hands on him, he said to him, do you see? And he looked up and said, I see people, but they look like trees walking. Then Jesus laid his hands on his eyes again, and he opened his eyes, and his sight was restored, and he saw everything clear. Hallelujah. Here we see a people that are concerned with someone, taking this person to Jesus. They know that this person is in darkness. They take this person to the light of the world. They know that when they get there, Jesus is going to do something. Coming back here anyway. Jesus takes this guy. He says, I appreciate my son, they've brought you here. But this is one-on-one. He takes him by his hand, leads him out of the city, takes him out of his comfort zone, out of the city, and the guy could have quite easily said, Jesus, this is unfamiliar ground. I don't know you, I've heard about you, but I'm used to the voices that are normally here. Where are we going? I know when I take 10 steps this way and 15 steps that way, I can hear the sound of water, then I know I'm close to home. When I then take 5 steps that to my left or right, I know I am home. Where are you taking me? He didn't say that, but he obliged. This man could have easily said no, but he obliged, and off they went. And I'm remembered of Job saying, I have heard of you through my ears, but now I see you. Jesus wanted this man to experience that. My son, you have heard about me, but today it's just between me and you. Come, and you shall see me. He leads him out, and they get there, and he spits on his eyes. And Jesus lays his hands on him. He puts his touch on him, and says to him, do you see? Do you see? And the guy says, I see, Lord. But wait a minute, Lord, before you go. I see people, but they look like moving trees. In other words, my vision is blurred. Now, church, I'm grateful for this man, because this man could have said, I am fine. At least now I can see a little bit. Before I couldn't see. Am I talking to someone? Go back to the message. Don't make your stepping stone your capstone. This man could have quite easily have taken that instance and made it his capstone and never got the clearest of sight. But he says, wait a minute, Lord. I see moving trees. They look like moving trees. Now, just to digress a bit, do you know that Jesus and this man saw the same things, but Jesus saw people and this man saw men that look like walking trees? In your life, things are going to happen and you'll have a different perspective to what God has. You will see doom, you will see permanence, and God says, I'm seeing beyond this. You'll see, you'll behave like a Gideon, the smallest of his tribe, the smallest in his country, the smallest in his town. But God will be saying, I see a man of valor here. This man could have stopped there. Hallelujah. But he didn't. He said, no, I will not lie. I will not lie. Some of us are sitting with certificates. It's blurred. It's not clear. It's better, but it's not best. Some of us are sitting with businesses. It is good, but it is not best. Stagnation. Stepping stone becomes my capstone. Hallelujah. But he says, no, I cannot see. Now, and then Jesus touches him again. Say, Jesus touched him again. He laid his hands on his eyes and the guy could see. He could see clearly, his sight was restored. My message to you is, Jesus wants to touch you again.